I have a concern that this isn't really about emails. It's about a partisan investigation by a select committee that has spent millions of dollars, produced nothing, and I think we're going to just see the ongoing attempt to investigate Hillary Clinton, whatever the subject, whether it's her emails or it's her hair or whatever it happens to be. So that's what I'm concerned about, as just a politicization of an issue.
Oh, well, in that case closed. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is Shannen Coffin. He is a former Deputy Assistant Attorney General of the United States. He was General Counsel to Vice President Dick Cheney. He's a partner at Steptoe and Johnson, LLC, and a contributing editor to the National Review. Shannen, welcome, sir.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
It's great to see you. You've been doing great work with Megyn Kelly on Fox and breaking this whole thing down. Let me ask you, the latest today is that Chairman Gowdy, the chairman of the Select Committee on Benghazi, has asked Hillary Clinton to turn over the email server to a third party for review. This obviously is not legally binding, so how significant do you view this step?
Well, it's significant, and it's one step in many. As a matter of fact, the one independent party that's looking into this is the National Archives. It's a separate agency of the federal government that's responsible for all of these records, and it has written to the State Department asking questions too. So there are a lot of different inquiries going on here. Representative Gowdy has sort of started the ball rolling, but that process on the Hill will take a long, long time.
When Jen Psaki stood there and informed us that they have no record or can't find Hillary signing this separation agreement, which was the subject of so much speculation, and then went on to say, you know, they're not sure what this is used for, if every, you know, what the gravity of it, and what, you know, I mean, she was so ambiguous. If she's being sincere, seemed to have no clue as to what the legal requirements are, and if she's being insincere, was basically just muddying the water to lessen that significance.
And the requirements are very clear. They're set forth in the State Department's own manual, and that manual says every departing employee first has to ensure that they've returned all documents, and second has to provide this form that says, I have done so under penalty of law. One little bit of information today to sort of counterbalance what the State Department is saying is that former Secretary of State James Baker has made very clear that in August of 1992 he signed that form. So the notion that the form wasn't required, that it was optional, that it was some sort of just an attempt by the State Department to make nice on occasion with some employees certainly isn't correct. And as a matter of fact, the association that deals with the Foreign Service officers wrote to the State Department and asked, hey, if it doesn't apply to her, does it apply to us? And what other rules are optional? Yeah,
good question. Would you like to see Condoleezza Rice and Colin Powell, if they don't come forward, at least have the committee call them and ask them if they signed the document?
See, I'm not sure we have to go that far. There are a lot of ways to find out what is in Hillary Clinton's files and that are in the State Department. The Congress can ask for it. A lot of organizations and media organizations, for instance, are seeking the contents of those files. I'm not sure we have to turn this into a spectacle in which every state Secretary of State has to be paraded in front of Congress. And it doesn't really matter what Condoleezza Rice did. What matters is what Hillary Clinton has done, which is unprecedented.
If she doesn't, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, which is to keep a server in her own basement. Yep. In an effort to circumvent all of these laws. If Condoleezza Rice didn't do that.
Right. Obviously, if she does not comply and hand over the server, when push comes to shove, it's got to be the Justice Department that could physically subpoena it, or am I wrong?
Well, Congress as a whole can, but then you get into sort of a lot of issues about civil enforcement of subpoenas by Congress, and whether the Justice Department has to be enforcing those. Normally it would be the Justice Department, but if Congress as a whole or the House as a whole went to court and sought civil enforcement. There is some precedent for that happening, but that's just way down the line, and it could be, we could have a second term of a Hillary Clinton presidency before we know the answer to that.
Yeah, very, very frightening. And folks, go to the National Review and check out Shannen's piece. Did the State Department consider Hillary Clinton above the law? I think the answer is yes, yes, and yes. But Shannen, great to talk to you. I hope you'll come back, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care, Steve.
All right, you too. Have a great weekend. All right, folks, very interesting. When we come back, we will be joined by Brent Badowski. He is a writer, of course, for The Hill, and he tends to be on the other side of the political spectrum, so that's always fun. Don't go away. Steve Malzberg Show right here on Newsmax Television.